have here a customer's TR6. Oops! You see what happened to that customer's TR6? It is sitting right there on a cart, the body. And here we have the frame, but the frame needs a major repair. So I'm gonna strip it a little bit and I'll show you what the problem is. Okay, so I disassembled almost completely the rear left suspension, and I want to show you here what is the actual problem. The actual problem is the support for the trail arm, which is very rotten here underneath. This is very important part of the frame. I don't know if you can see it very well here, but you will see later when I cut it out. This is very important part here because it supports the whole suspension at the rear left. So this is the repair section that came with our TR6, but we don't need it there, so we can use it here, but it is available in most motors. And this is the part number there, 850-390. Before I cut out the rotten piece, I had to make sure that the rest of the frame is not gonna move or shift in any other way. All the parts should stay in exactly the same position as they are right now. So I had to make some kind of bracing here, and what I decided to do was I bolted a couple of nuts in those body mounts using the body mount bolts, and I welded this bar between them. This way the rest of the frame should remain in exactly the same position after I cut the trail arm support. The other important part was to make sure that I am able to position the new repair piece in exactly the same position as this one, so I don't change anything on the alignment. To do that, I put those 4 bolts in the holes that are holding the brackets for the trail arm, and put nuts on the other side, and I started building a brace around them. First I welded a vertical link to the 2 bolts, and another one to the heads of the other 2 bolts. And then I joined them together with a horizontal bar. I made sure all the welds are strong and are not gonna move, because that's important. I used 2 other holes for body mounts, and I bolted nuts there too. I used nuts that are a size bigger than the bolts, but they are still tight, so the bolt doesn't play inside, because it was very important to be able to bolt the nuts there without any play. Then I welded 2 more links from the existing bar to the nuts that I just bolted in the body mounts. It was easy on this side, but on the other side, because I wasn't using a bolt, I was using this hook that is for the seat belt actually, and I needed to be able to turn it, so I welded 1 more nut to the existing nut there to extend a little bit my welding surface, and then I welded the bar from the existing bar to the second nut. Well, it looks a little bit rough, but not the look is important. It's important that it gives me the possibility to position the new piece exactly the same way as this one. So I removed all the nuts and I took the brace out, or if you want you can go with a jig now. And I just double checked if it's gonna fit on the new piece, but then I put it on the side, and just now I could start with actual work on the frame. When the frame was built, the different parts of it were overlapped with each other, and then they were welded together. So now it was impossible to take this member in one piece. So I had to start cutting small pieces out of it. And here you can see how bad the damage was. Everything was turned into rust. As I was expecting, this was the hardest part, to remove the remainings of the member from the two spots where it overlapped with the rest of the frame, because I had to keep the rest of the frame intact and remove all the metal from inside so I can fit the new member there, otherwise it wasn't gonna fit. So you can see I used many kinds of tools. I took out piece by piece, and I kept grinding and cutting and wiggling with pliers, and even chopping with hands and with screwdrivers. Well, it took me a while, but at the end I think I cleaned it very nice. Now this was important too. I knew that there was a second layer of metal here inside, because that was the top piece of the cross member actually. And if I didn't remove this, the new member wasn't gonna fit there. So I ground carefully around and I found the second layer. I didn't worry about the bottom because there the second layer was already rotten and came out as rust flakes. The other side was even harder because it was close to the frame and I didn't have good access. And altogether for both sides it took me more than 2 hours to clean up and grind and prepare it to receive the new piece. And when I managed to take out all the rusty bits, I found out the rust spread even on the frame, so I had to fix that too. So I patched the holes and cleaned the whole area so I can weld the new cross member in place. I couldn't wait to fit the new cross member to see if it was gonna fit there or not. It turned out that it didn't, so I had to trim a little bit here and there. I put it on couple of times. I tried, it was getting better and better, but still I had to grind a little bit the frame. And finally it fit well. I was able to put the bolts in the mounting holes, and with the straight edge I made sure that all the parts of the frame are still at the same surface. Nothing moved up or down. Everything aligned perfectly, so I could tack it on as many places as possible. And when I made sure that it's not gonna move anymore, it was tucked in place, I could remove the jig and weld all over. Now these are structural welds, so it is very important to be well done. So I was being very careful. I took my time and I made sure I don't miss a spot. When I was done welding it, I removed the last brace from here. And I was basically done. And to protect it from the rust, I painted it with the rust guard. And now this rusty piece could go to scrap.